Aloha and welcome. In this lesson, we're going to be talking all about mobile devices. We're going to start out with a discussion of mobile device deployment models. We've got a number of them out there. Number one on the list is bring your own device, which is called BYOD. Bring your own device is essentially when you bring your own device to work. In a system like this, you've got your regular phone that you use for personal use. You have your own data plan, you pay for it monthly, and the company allows you to use it for work, or really you allow the company to have you use it for work. And this is good for the company because they don't have to actually pay for additional hardware. There's another model called the corporate-owned personally enabled device, or COPE, and that is the system in which the company will buy the system, the smartphone for you, and they will allow you to use it for your personal uses. So you'll do your business work on here, but you're also allowed to use it for personal capacity. So you can bring it home and use it, for your own. If it's a phone, you can use it for calling or stuff like that. If it's a tablet, you can use it for whatever, playing games in your off time. Then there is the more restrictive corporate-owned business-only device, COBO, and COBO is one where the company buys it and you can only use it for business. So they have total control over this device and they pay for everything, the hardware, the monthly fees, and any type of maintenance that's needed. And then there's choose your own device, and choose your own device is kind of like COPE in a way. And there's not a whole lot of difference, but this is an organizational policy that allows the employees to choose from a list of devices that they specify. And that's going to give you more freedom and flexibility to choose device. And you're also going to stay under the umbrella of the device management that IT has already established. So that works for both the company and the individual. And they have a nice chart that shows you the differences between each of these models. So go through your participation activities. When it comes to managing these mobile devices, the company is going to need to have some type of management strategy to handle just both the device and the software that's on there. And there's been an evolution of the different types used. So when we're talking about these, the first one on our list is mobile device management. That's a cloud-based or on-premise model. And just to let you know, cloud-based is when you're using services that are offered, across the internet. And on-premise just means that, it's going to be on-site. It's actually going to be servers and, software that's located inside your network. So going back to our definition there, mobile device management is a cloud-based or on-premise model that allows an organization to view endpoints being the different devices, and monitor user behaviors and business critical data on the endpoints. So an organization should be able to access the organization's devices, integrations, reports, apps, and secure documents easily. So there's a number of features here for the management software. Number one, it's going to reduce the IT administration. You're not going to have to do competitive tasks like configuring and testing each new device that you put on the network that's going to be ready to go. It's going to improve your end user productivity. You're not going to have to worry about end users going and getting set up on the corporate networks or anything. It's all going to be built into the onboarding process. It's going to reduce the IT risk. So you're going to be able to push out your cybersecurity requirements, systematically, and not going to be doing like individual updates here and there. You're going to enable enterprise growth because you can manage thousands of devices and users, on a single, in a single package. And it's also going to optimize mobile device spending because if you identify that certain users aren't using their devices and they don't really have a need for one, then you can, just mark that off and, okay, this person doesn't need one. We can save money on buying one in the future. So another form is of mobile device management here is enterprise mobility management, EMM. This is going to be the distribution, organization, and control of mobile devices used in enterprise mobility. So the example they give here is the cell phones, the smartphones, the tablets, and laptops that you use. So then there's unified endpoint management, and that's a solution to secure, manage, and identify computers, mobile devices, and other endpoints. UEM solutions help enterprises secure and control the entire IT environment and endpoints. So it's going to be it's going to secure the user's personal data, the apps, the content, and enterprise data as well. So the UEM provides the ability to push updates or enterprise applications, and it can apply security policies to device. And it can also remove all the applications and data. It can just wipe it clean if your device is stolen or lost. Then we have mobile application management, and that's an organizational practice and technology allowing control of an organization's mobile devices. So one thing that I wanted to stress to you is what is the relationship of all these technologies? So I would suggest when you're reading something like this, and if they all sound the same to you, like a lot of these can kind of run together. It's like, well, gosh, don't these perform a lot of the same functionality? What I would do is I would go into Gemini and I would run a query in Gemini asking about it. So I would say, I would ask it essentially for here, for example, what is the difference between MDM, EMM, UEM, and MAM? Because we're dealing with a lot of things that are similar, overlapping. So it comes back and it says, these acronyms represent the evolution of enterprise management solutions in response to the risk to the rise of mobile devices, apps, and modern diverse workplace. The core difference lies in their scope of what they manage. And here's a breakdown of the 4 terms. So this is great. This is a good way to use AI to help you visualize what the differences are. Because if you have things that aren't making sense to you, I highly encourage you to go into Gemini, which you have access to as a University of Hawaii student, and ask it questions like this to try to solidify that in your mind. So MAM, the focus is on the application and its data. So there's a lot of other things that, what it does, it manages and secures corporate data within specific business apps, regardless of the device they're installed on. It often uses app level encryption and containerization to separate work data from personal data. Okay, that's great. It's best for bring your own device programs where IT must protect company data without fully controlling the employee's personal device. Then we've got the MDM, the mobile device management that we talked about, and that goes for the entire mobile device. So the MAM was the application and its data. MDM is the entire mobile device as a whole. That's going to manage and secure the hardware and operating system of mobile devices, whether it's smart phones or tablets. This is the foundation of mobile security. So that's great, and it's best for corporate-owned devices. And then we've got enterprise mobility management, and that's going to look at the entire mobile ecosystem. That's going to be devices, apps, and users. So you can see we're evolving here. We're building our functionality as we go along. So EMM is a suite that combines MDM and MAM functionalities, adding features for identity, content, and security. So the components for this, you're going to have MDM for device control, you're going to have MAM for app control, and you're going to have mobile content management for secure file access. And then you're going to have identity and access management. But you don't have to know that part of it. You just know that EMM is a more holistic approach. And it's best for organizations with mixed corporate and BYOD devices. Then the last one here is the UEM, the Unified Endpoint Management. And this focuses on everything, all endpoints. And this is the evolution of EMM, the previous one that we talked about that was all encompassing. So this is just an evolution of that. And it uses a single console to manage and secure all types of devices, including your traditional PCs, your laptops, your mobile devices, rugged devices, and even IoT devices. So it's best for large enterprise or modern organizations with diverse, complex IT. You're not using this for a small mom and pop type operation. So that is what I wanted to stress to you. Always feel free to use AI to supplement your knowledge here. Use it as your tutor or to explain things that you don't understand when you're reading it. You can always ask me, that's fine. But in the meantime, while you're waiting on an email answer, you can always reach out, and use your Gemini resources that you have. So next, we're going to talk about VM solutions for mobile devices. We talk about virtual desktop infrastructure, VDI. That's a technology using VMs to provide and manage for virtual desktops. So instead of actually taking a computer and making it for each person, you can have VDIs out there, which are essentially virtual machines that you're going to use. You're going to store your data on a server somewhere, but each time you log into that VM, you're going to have a new system essentially. And when you're done with it, it can disappear entirely. It doesn't matter because your data is all stored on servers and it's pulling the data from there. But that gives you a wide variety of solutions there. You can choose whatever OS that you want to be using. So, and they can keep it up to date. And because these are images that they keep stored, there's no need to constantly, they just work on the image. They maintain the image. And then employees that want to use, let's say, Mac or whatever the latest Mac OS is, they would get the latest Mac OSs with all the patches and everything. So that would, be spun up into their virtual desktop. So there's 2 types of VDIs. One is a client-based mobile VDI, and that installs a mobile VDI client application on each mobile device. So the VDI session allows the mobile device to access various applications and data through a virtualized interface. And the second one is going to be browser-based. So this one is just within the browser that you use, whether it's Chrome or Edge or whatever it is. And that's an architecture that uses web browser to access a web-based mobile VDI client. Browser-based mobile VDI does not require a mobile VDI client application on the mobile device. So virtual mobile infrastructure, VMI, this phrase, VMI, it's a mobile-centric technology that runs mobile apps on a mobile operating system or OS or virtual machine that is located on a remote server. So VMI is referred to as a mobile VDI because VMI applies the same principles that allow VDI to run on desktop applications on desktops and mobile. So now let's talk about mobile device security. So mobile device security enables an IT department to remotely manage users and the user's devices. It provides security, and it also provides management for all the mobile devices that you have connected to your network. So you can use something called a MicroSD HSM. This is a hardware security module that's loaded into a MicroSD card. You've seen the MicroSD cards. They're like these little cards that you can put into different devices like Android-based devices or all kinds of electronic devices use them. But the MicroSD HSM, it provides security services using hardware-based crypto engines, including the encryption, the key generation, and key lifecycle management, digital signature, and authentication. So there's other types of mobile security out there. There's the platform we talked about. There's email security. You can turn on advanced email security and get things that detect, block, and address threats that come in. You can get endpoint protection. You can get VPNs. VPNs are great when you're out there. You can get VPNs that are free. There's things like Proton and maybe NordVPN has a free version, but there's all these different VPNs that you can use out there to protect your system when you're working remotely. There's also PKI, the public key infrastructure. So mobile PKI provides trusted encryption and identity. There's things that there's certain threats that you have to worry about. You have to worry about data leakage. You have to worry about unsecured Wi-Fi. Never connect to banks or anything with a username and password when you're using public Wi-Fi can be sniffed. So always use a VPN if you're doing stuff on public Wi-Fi. There's also network spoofing that you have to be worried about because there's access points that advertise common SSIDs like Starbucks or something like that to try to get you to connect to it. There's phishing attacks. There's phishing attacks. You're more susceptible to phishing attacks because when you're using your email on your phone, you look at your interface and you don't have the ability to hover over links and see if they really go to the place that it says it goes to. So you have to be careful of phishing attacks on mobile devices. Spyware can be installed and they can be tracking anything that you do on there. You can have it actually accessing your camera or your microphone on a regular basis, and that's scary. You also have to worry about broken cryptography because broken cryptography, it happens when app developers use weaker encryption algorithms or they fail to implement strong encryption or leave backdoors open. So these are things you have to worry about as well. And then there's different aspects of mobile device applications installation. We've talked about geotagging before. That's the process of appending geographic coordinates to the media based on a location of a mobile device. So if you're taking pictures, you can, your pictures may have in the EXIF data for it, they may have location information in there. And those geotags reveal when users are, in certain places or, there's all kinds of things that get left behind. So you have to be careful of that. SMS is a texting technology to send messages over a cellular network. It doesn't require mobile data, or Wi-Fi to send and receive SMS messages, which is great if you don't have if you've got limited internet connectivity. MMS, it's a texting technology, but it also can send multimedia over a cellular network. You've got RCS, and RCS is Android's built-in messaging application, and it converts native texting apps into a live chat platform. So that does require the internet to connect and transmit the messages, though. They can send anything. It can be text, pictures, video, whatever. Then you've got iMessage, which Apple users are familiar with. So iMessage is Apple's instant messaging service and supported by all the iOS devices. It's on your iPhone, your iPad, MacBooks, your desktops, everything. It does require a cellular data connection or Wi-Fi to send and receive the messages for it. You've got the process of the concept of sideloading. Sideloading is the process of adding an application that hasn't been approved by the device's OS developer. So Google's default configuration doesn't allow you to sideload, but you can change settings in there to get root access and sideload stuff. You've got jailbreaking. Jailbreaking is a method of circumventing a device's security features by increasing the user permission on the device. So when you jailbreak something, it allows you to install applications from a third-party source. Apple maintains a really high level of device security by restricting all devices to only use apps you download from the App Store. There's been a lot of lawsuits about this in the past, but they have a stranglehold on the apps that you can put on there. And one way to get around that is if you jailbreak it, you can put in third-party software on there. It's not really a good idea to jailbreak because you can end up bricking your phone, or other things can happen. But you're getting around limitations put on there often for a good reason. So yeah, I personally have not jailbroken any of my iPhones in the past. Then there's the process of rooting, and rooting modifies the device software to provide root access to the device. It allows you to get the super user privileges, and rooting is often confused with the Android version of jailbreaking. Rooting is similar to it, but rooting it is going to give you a greater deal of freedom for Android users. So one of the things that they mentioned is that the App Store and Google Play Store, those are the two largest distribution channels for mobile apps. And there's over 300 third-party app stores that exist in the world. But those two, they account for the most traffic and the most number of applications that are downloaded on mobile devices. And that is it for this section. If you have any question, let me know. This has been a big section. It covers everything mobile. So go ahead and review. And if you have questions, feel free to come back to me. Also, remember, use Gemini as your AI tutor as well. It can really help you. If you're having trouble understanding subtle differences between technologies or phrases, always use Gemini to look it up and get more information on that. And that is it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Aloha.